All right, and we're live.
Crap.
And we're live. Gotta find my comments here.
What thumbnail? What's the thumbnail look like? Was I fiddle
I
fucking
don't know.
around?
What? Well, you just dropped an F-bomb right at the beginning of it. All right. So for the replay gang,
I should probably have the comments up.
hang out with us for a while. We'll just show comments here too. For the replay gang, it's going to be a couple minutes.
I can't believe.
It's like three people first. Who's first of the three people that are first?
Probably Rich is one of them. Okay. First is Chris Parent.
Okay, Chris Parent is actually
Prime
first.
Trucker Rob also says first.
A close
Twisted
second.
Big D says yo. Prime Trucker Rob says, oh my god, first. So it's a close tie on who's first.
What's up, Zach Miller?
Hey, RN.
RN, of course, the regular. Twisted Big D, we saw your pictures, man.
Yeah, that is enough to give me nightmares. Are you feeling better? Hopefully. Healing good from the fire.
Yeah, if you guys
Sound is quiet, kind of quiet, Jeff S says.
Yeah, it's we're working on some things. It's going to be a little quiet. So I have to work on getting a preamp to my preamp because this setup works really well with like Apple Pro Logic and GarageBand and stuff. What it does not work well with, I'm finding, is the software that I use to live stream. So we're going to have to talk loud, and I'm going to work on a solution on that here the next couple days. I'll come up with a solution. So anyway, for the replay gang, well, actually for everybody, Country Trucker Brad, what's going on? Leah, what's going on? Jeff S. We're not on a load, obviously.
No.
We had two options this evening. Option A was to load the truck and get ready to leave in the morning. Option B was to go to a Mexican restaurant, get a bomb-ass dinner, and not do shit tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had a very good dinner.
When's the Pete arriving? We believe the first week of August. We believe.
We're being told the 1st of August. I don't know if that's true.
Hey, Brent.
Let's see if I can squeeze a little more audio into this. You're probably going to get some background noise, but I'll see. Yeah, this it's a really nice setup for podcasting. It's a terrible setup for the
Jose Locos. Twisted Big D.
Yeah, Jose Locos, and there's actually two of them in Springfield. One of them we don't recommend. That's the one in the north.
Why don't we recommend that one?
Well, some people said that it's really bad. And they don't have as good reviews either. The one south on Battlefield is so far the best Mexican restaurant that we've found in Springfield.
Sound is louder.
You're probably gonna get a little background feedback. You can probably hear Remy trotting around in the hallway.
Yeah, she's pissed. She doesn't like being locked out of the room.
Twisted Big D, your favorite? Nice. Yeah, and Twisted Big D, because I think you live in Springfield. So you know that in Springfield, there's more bad Mexican restaurants than there are good. Like there's some really bad Mexican restaurants. And they look like they would be good. They're not. Like they'll give you Montezuma's Revenge. There's some bad Mexican restaurants in Springfield. So when we found that one, the one on Battlefield, that's kind of become our go-to. It's trusty. It always has seating even on busy nights. huge, big variety menu. So yeah, that's where we went tonight instead of getting ready to go out on a load.
Hey Rich. So Brad, yeah, I've been cooking all week, so we decided to go do the dinner date thing. RN, the interview with Rob Lowe got rescheduled because he decided to like destroy his shoulder and have to get it fixed surgically. And
Yeah, his assistant called me last week and said that he could do the interview, but he was probably going to be on drugs and be very uncomfortable. 'Cause he had his shoulder kind of unexpectedly completely reconstructed, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I want it to be a comfortable setting because I want to get like a good hour to an hour and a half with him, and so we scheduled it for the first week of August.
Chris, let me look up and tell you where the good Chinese place is. There's one we ordered takeout from. I don't know if there's anywhere to actually like sit down and eat, like, because we haven't been there in person. But there's one place that we order from that's
Twisted Big D.
It's a Asian hut. We always get the shrimp fried rice there. That place is pretty good. And the sesame chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in Ozark, okay.
So closer to us.
We are actually in the process of house hunting right now, which is not fun. But Ozark would be definitely on our list of approved neighborhoods.
Cat, rat, and dog food. Confused. So Confused says, can't wait to see y'all back out again. Says, so crazy you and Trucker Dude Brent were the two channels I watched for the longest time and then met y'all. Oh, so you met Confused?
Then y'all met, I think
Oh,
is what
then
he's
y'all
saying.
met. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Trucker Dude Brent. Really impressed with him. My first experience with his content was on videos where he was just letting it rip. Million Mile Man had sent me his channel and sent it to her too, I think. And I went and watched his videos where he was just not happy. He was making shit for money, not happy, and just letting it rip on his channel. And I was like, oh God, the YouTube's full of these kinds. I thought I didn't go watch the rest of his channel. I kind of was basing my opinion on a couple videos at first. Then when he finally got free of Stevens Transport, and I'm not bashing on Stevens Transport. I think there's a lot of great drivers over there. I can't speak to the company, but he started getting free of it. You could see him getting happier and happier. Then he's home for a week or two after turning in his truck. He's happy, but he's kind of, it's kind of creepy going to a new company. And then he's been amazingly happy at Prime this week. But yeah, I got to spend a good amount of time with him, spent a lot of time talking with him in Millennium Building. And then he came out to the truck for an interview. And then I gave him a ride in the truck over to Campus Inn. And I was really impressed with him. He is a good dude. I literally came home to Jenna. I was like, he's one of the coolest dudes I've met at Prime.
Hey, Kenworth.
Rickshaw.
So good ramen spot. You're gonna have to let me know where that is, Prime Trucker Rob. Yeah, so Zach, basically what we're doing is we're kind of trying to figure out the neighborhoods and stuff that we like. We're looking at the listings, but we don't plan on buying for a little bit. We're kind of hoping that the market levels out a little bit.
Yeah, and the thing is, the housing market's crazy, like all across the country, but the inventory in Springfield is already lower than a lot of places. So basically, a listing that goes up in Springfield right now is gone in like a week. Mm-hmm. So really, because we're not ready to buy a house until maybe January. Mm-hmm. Because of that, really the only thing it can do for us is help us kind of determine
Where
and what we're looking for and what's in our price range. It does no good for us to say this is what we want, because that listing's gone. I mean, there's literally brand new listings every single day in Springfield. I'm talking like 10 or 15 that are something we'd like, and then the 10 or 15 that we liked 5 days before are gone. So basically with Springfield right now, and maybe I know Texas, this is kind of the case too. Like, you basically can't go look at houses until you're ready to buy a house, like right on the spot, you know.
Kenworth Ryder says he likes the studio. Ross does not. Ross hates the studio. Ross
hates the studio because his bed used to be right over there.
But the good thing is that country trucker Brad really likes Ross's bed too.
Yeah, so. Ross, you gotta think about others, man. Country trucker Brad now has a very comfortable bed, and you still have the couch. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you're only going to stay in his house when we're not here, generally. So now you get the entire living room. You get the big TV. Mm-hmm. You have a kitchen in your bedroom.
You have your own bathroom.
You have your own bathroom. The couch turns into a bed. So you still have a crash pad. You just don't have this room. That's funny.
Oh, so Zach lives in, is that it? Sedalia?
Sedalia, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Do you like it out there, Zach? Is that nice? Francis says everything's going up because the people of California moving to Missouri. I'm busy of look at houses. Hey, Miss
Monique, I added you to so if you guys go to our YouTube on our community tab, there is a post I made of the definitive guide of active Prime Inc. YouTubers. I made that today, and it's any active Prime Inc. YouTuber who has over 100 subscribers and has uploaded a video in the last 60 days. I think there were like 50 channels.
Hey,
so Miss Monique, I definitely got you on there. And also, just so you know, the reason I put 100 subscribers is because there's been so many channels over the last year or two that come to Prime. They're all excited. They've got, they set up a YouTube channel, and then we go say something about them on YouTube, get them 50, 75 followers, and then they leave Prime and try to do something else with the channel. So the list is to help us track active, current Prime YouTubers that are, that are serious about this. Remy's out there screwing around. Mm-hmm. Who cares what Ross doesn't like?
Let's see. Oh, RN bidding on the house and then putting it in condition of inspection. Yeah, I mean, that's an option. We really just want to see it like in person, though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're working with a realtor who can do virtual tours and stuff, but so basically this year we're not running the holidays.
Because like one really important factor, like for me, is pictures online and virtual tours won't show you if your neighbor's a total dick. So I'd like to see the neighbor face to face and know if I can live next to them if there is a neighbor.
Yeah, so because we're not going to run the holidays this year, that's now it's going to be hard for realtor. But I think right after Christmas, she's obviously going to want to try to sell houses. And so our hope is that if we're home for 2 or 3 weeks during the holidays, that we can somehow make it work. I know it's easier said than done because the holidays everything seizes up. But that's when we'd be able to physically go look at places. So our target is kind of right right in that range to go purchase a house, which is also why this studio behind me, while it looks permanent and looks nice, it is not at all permanent.
It's janky.
It's duct taped insulation foam attached to PVC pipe.
It's all movable though, so you know,
Yeah.
no permanent damage to anything in here.
And for that reason,
Let's see.
meth
So
heads everywhere.
Michael Finley says, hello guys, I'm a subscriber. Love you guys. Used to work at Prime. Now I own my own truck. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Shoestring, I'm on my 10-hour break, Eastern North Carolina. Herd Bull, how's it going?
Herbal. We need a video, dude.
Yeah, Junior, good point. You won't know about the neighbor until you're in the house. It's so true.
That is true.
Yeah. But I mean, at least you can kind of get a somewhat idea, maybe.
I think well, and it's hard to tell in the winter, but
Yeah, ask
you
Josh
can
and
tell.
Cheyenne.
Yeah, you can tell a lot in the summer by just like
How many
people
cars are in the
maintaining their
lawn?
yards. You know, are like we actually pay someone to keep our lawn mowed while we're on the road. And you know, so it's like that just kind of tells you a lot of, I think, about, are people responsible? Do they care about the neighborhood? Do they care about their house? Little things like that. But I don't know, how do you tell that in the winter? And we have friends who paid 6 months to rent a house in Springfield in the winter.
Because the rental market's really competitive in Springfield, and they wanted the house because the pictures look great, and they were like, instead of $750 a month, we'll give you $800, and we'll pay 6 months in advance. So the real estate person or property management was like, sold. And then they realized that they live next door to two pedophiles, and they're constantly
been awful.
dealing meth out of the house next door.
They literally had to put up like 5 no trespassing
We
signs.
did. I went.
Yeah, Jenna went and did it while they were on the road.
Because the neighbor was going over to their driveway, because I told them to get the Blink cameras so that they could see everything, the little wireless, battery operated Amazon cameras. So they put those all over the front yard, and the neighbor was going and dealing drugs on their driveway while they're gone. Yeah. It's the most bizarre situation. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of about sight unseen. But you're right, RN. It at least gives you a leg up until you go and physically see it.
So, RN, I'm not thrilled with where the market's at right now either. So that's kind of another thing, is that it's like people are asking a lot more for prices now than they were 2 years ago in Springfield, and that's probably everywhere, and they're getting it. Well, we don't want to give it. Chris Warner, I don't know. I don't think you have to take a second physical upon arrival. The one you get prior. Oh, actually, you do. I think you do. Brent or someone was telling me the other day that they got a physical at a local physician and then got to Prime and had to go. Actually, I think it was Brent, and he already had his DOT physical, but they made him go to was it Trinity?
Down in the basement?
In the basement, yeah.
Yeah, that's Trinity.
Made him go to Prime's physician and get a brand new.
It may just depend on the circumstances, because I got a physical at the place that's across the street from Freightliner, and that was my only physical.
Yeah.
Who
Talk to your
did that?
recruiter. Who did what?
Remy's absurd amount of dog food fun. Yeah, it's pretty absurd. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Junior, when you see a house you like, drive by the neighborhood at night and see what it's like.
That's really good advice.
We really lucked out with the place that we're renting right now. It's in a killer location in Springfield. It's a great place. It's just not quite big enough for us. The places in this neighborhood are not quite big enough for us. And all the driveways I can't get my truck on any of the driveways. they're too steep, I'll bottom the truck out. And plus we just want a little more. We want like half an acre at minimum. We've been looking at some places with like 5 acres or more, but at minimum it's got to be half an acre.
Okay, so Junior says yes, you do. 1 coming to Prime, and then when you get to Prime. Let me see.
Oh, Chris, you did a super chat. Thank you for that. Yeah, for Remy's absurd. We'll actually buy her a bone with that. We found these bones at Pet Supply.
I think it's Pet's Way.
Pet's Way. They've got these rawhide bones that are really good quality, good. They're not unhealthy for her, and they last forever, but they're like $6 a piece.
Yeah.
So we'll get her one of those. We'll tell her you sent it.
Hey, Stacy. Hope you and Carrie are doing well. She said that she hopes that she and Carrie can be as successful as we are with Prime. That's sweet. I'm sure you guys will, because you guys are a great team. Like, we can already tell.
We're recording a podcast between the two of us tomorrow about couples teaming. It is so damn lucrative. Like, it's I think you guys will do just fine. Miss Monique wondering if we have a place already where drivers can share information about a shipper or receiver, about whether they have parking, whether there's room for dock parking, etc. We don't, but you know what? Trucker Path just updated, and it now includes almost all the shippers and receivers I've been to lately, with the exception of some pharmaceutical shippers. But most of your cold storages, Tysons, all that stuff are now on Trucker Path. So it's not just like Walmarts and truck stops. Now they're actually putting shipper facilities on there. So you can see what other drivers are saying about it.
And Junior, I see your comment where you said you can check to see who lives next to you. You could see if they're an offender or not. Normally, if they're in compliance, but in this situation with our friends, the individuals that were living next door were not in compliance until they were put in compliance. So they were not showing at that residence. So it's a really bad situation our friends are in.
North Rider didn't like my neighbors, so I sold my previous home for a profit 2 years ago and got my dream home with acreage with no noisy neighbors. Yeah, that's another thing. We don't want to move a lot, so we're kind of a little bit picky right now. You know, it's not really looking for something that we'll live in for 2 years. It's looking for something that's going to be, you know, our place for at least a decade, hopefully life. So when you're thinking that way, you have to be a lot more picky.
RN says I bought land in Lago Vista, Texas for $12,000 in 2019. Just sold it for $51,000. Wow. That is awesome.
Congratulations. You're on the good end of that. We're on the shitty end right now.
So, Stacy, I'm guessing that's probably why, because she said Carrie didn't have a second one, but she went through the company Prime sent her to. That's the same thing. I went, but when I went, like, it was my full physical. Like, I know it was the full DOT thing. Let me see.
No problem.
In Springfield, you will be able to get a minimum of 5 acres, Junior says. And then he's busting you out for being behind on comments.
Yeah, I'm way behind on comments. So
He's always slow on comments.
Junior's goat with some of these answers, so we'll put his up there. So yeah, the physical, as you see on the screen, for those that are listening, not watching, if you have that question, do you have to take a second physical? As Junior says, the physical you take before they approve you for orientation is just to make sure that you can actually do it. And then you have to come get your DOT physical. So that's why some have to, some don't. If you can get to a place that Prime already authorizes, like the one Jenna went to, you're good. If not, then it's just going to be a make sure that you're that you can actually do the job? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely be able to get a minimum of 5 acres if we want. I mean, it's a toss up, and I know we weren't planning on talking housing, but I think it's interesting, and we know a lot. We know actually quite a few, 2 other YouTubers right now.
That want to rent this house.
Kiersey's buying a house. Like she bought it, right? She's moving into it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think her
But
last video was about
What's
that.
funny though is about our house. We already have like a list of. I think we have 3 or 4 people at this point that have already said, please, when you decide to move out of this place,
Yeah.
introduce us to the landlord because we
Everybody
want to
who's
rent the
been
place.
here wants to rent this house. This
Yeah.
is a good place. But yeah, the thing is, you can get 5 to 10 acres, or you can get a nice house. You know, you gotta like, and I don't say they're junk houses too. They're okay houses, but you have to put a little bit of work into it. And we're truck drivers. You know, it's not that we don't want to work on a house. I think we would really enjoy that together. But when do you work on a house?
But I've already done that before. Like, it's one of those things that it seems like a good idea until you do it. Like, I had bought a house in California. It was carpet everywhere. And I'm like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. I could just throw down some tile. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, you know, when you're on a time crunch and you're like, so we're looking for something. It's got to be something that we could tolerate the way that it is until we're able to, you know, like some upgraded paint, you know, that kind of stuff we can handle. But if it's like major,
yeah, we don't want anything with wood paneling walls and stuff like that.
shag carpeting.
I mean, it's so. And there is good stuff. We've found good stuff on 3 to 5 acres. But again, because we're not ready to buy, we are going through the process right now of, you know, got good credit. So we're going through all that process to make sure we're ready. But unless we're ready to buy right now, it's just not really.
And yeah, so CG Trucker has a great point of they said, what stinks is when the sucky neighbor or neighbors
Wasn't
who
there a
move in
movie about
after
that?
you.
There's a comedy about it. Isn't it
Yeah,
called
it's
Neighbors?
called Neighbors.
Yeah.
It's Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen. It's a great movie. I'm glad to hear she's enjoying TNT, Stacy. Let's see.
Hoping to find a place outside of town somewhere we get. Okay, so you guys are, both of you are looking to get in a place together in Springfield or near Springfield. There's a lot of cool areas. Like if you were to go 45 miles towards Rolla, like out towards Lebanon, if you're wanting to kind of have that country feel, it's a lot of houses with land out there. You can go a little bit further south. You could go out towards. Somebody help me out. Where's George's?
Oh, Caseville. Isn't it Caseville?
Caseville, and then there's another Monette.
Yeah.
Tyson over there, or some meat plant. A lot of houses between Springfield and those areas. So there's a lot of options if you want to be out of the city. We do not want to live in Springfield proper. We're outside of the loop right now by like a couple blocks. And the loop is 60, 65, 44. We want to be further outside that loop.
View Dooman, love the channel and content, guys. I should start orientation on Monday, flatbed. Congratulations and thanks for joining us.
So Junior, I want to skip you and AN's conversation. Looks like you guys are handling that.
Yeah.
Love the channel and content, guys. I should start orientation. Did you just read that?
Yeah.
Voodoo Man. That makes me think
Voodoo
of
Man.
That makes me think of Mountain Dew. What did you say?
I said I don't know. I have not had enough caffeine today. I'm like.
That's true. Jenna's been running all day long.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things was like a really fun experience. So like, thanks to COVIDs, I haven't gotten a haircut since like last year. So I finally went and got a haircut. I had to like cut like 8 inches off my hair to like make it somewhat decent. And then I needed makeup. So I went to the mall, but Dillard's, their AC was broken. And the girl didn't believe me of the color that I wear. So then she like wanted to like try all these different foundations and powder and whatever. So I'm sitting there just like sweating my balls off at Dillard's as she tries all these other makeups to then just go back to the one that I told her I wear and have worn since I was 16 years old, because this pasty whiteness needs something that's basically like what's that stuff? Whiteout, like that you use on paper. That's basically the color of makeup that I wear. So it's been an interesting day. And then I came home and Eric wanted to go get Mexican, and I'm tired.
She came home thinking we were going to be loading the truck to leave tomorrow. And then I was like, no, let's not leave tomorrow.
Well,
and then we went to eat Mexican. And while we're sitting there at dinner, I was like, you know what? We'll just leave Sunday. I just keep adding days.
And part of the whole thing about me wearing myself out today was so that I would be tired so that I could sleep through the night getting on the truck and get back into my day shift schedule.
Tomorrow,
so
yeah.
I'm all kinds of jacked up. I need like caffeine, but now
This always
it's
happens
late.
to us.
I
You
don't
guys,
know.
longtime subscribers know we never leave home time when we plan to. Never. In fact, our fleet manager, without even asking, changed our PTA from the 15th to the 31st.
Oh yeah, he knows us. Like Justin is amazing. So yeah, he's figured us out.
We didn't
really
even have
quickly.
to ask for it. He's like, you know what? You guys will get a load whenever you want to get a load.
Yeah. Trevor says, look for Just Land and put a prefab on it, like Clayton Homes or something like that. I'm looking into it, but in Michigan, that is something we've talked about too.
No, we're not going to do it. We've talked about it, but
Apparently
again,
we're not going to do that.
No, we're not. We're truck drivers. I ain't got time for all that shit. It's going to be hard enough just to get all our, like, basically, you guys are going to laugh at us, but first of all, we're pretty minimal. Like, this room's cluttered and a mess because of everything behind me and all this shit.
Don't you dare admit what I suggested the other day.
We're pretty minimalist in general. But Jenna the other day was like, you know what? We're just going to have a yard sale and sell everything we have. and then just go buy.
It's not going to be the first time. I'll literally buy the same thing I have that we already have
Just
here.
so we
and
don't
buy
have to
a
move
new
it.
one. Because my suggestion was we moved into this house off of the truck with duffel bags of clothes and like a backpack that has important documents and Remy's food. So why don't we just do that again? So we could just move in the Jeep and then order everything on Amazon or whatever. And he was like, yeah, that's great. Because I'm like, then we don't have to deal with a U-Haul. We don't have to deal with moving anything. So, but
Yeah.
I can't believe you just admitted on a live
Hey,
how lazy I am.
Cost of
I'm
time and getting a truck and all that. Like, is it really a loss? Like, we don't have furniture and things that are sentimental.
well, and another thing about that too, because when I told Gypsy was like, just move out and leave the furniture. She's like, I'll move it.
All our
And
furniture
Josh
is in
and
great
Cheyenne
shape,
said
too.
the same thing because we only use
would be great for a
maybe
truck
like
driver.
a week, a month. She's like, just rent. Get your landlord to rent this place to one of your friends, and you just move out, and we'll move in. And there doesn't have to be any sort of switch over. Like Josh and Cheyenne and Gypsy all agreed. They're like, you just move out and give us all your stuff, and then you won't have to move it.
BG Ack saw a fixer-upper with 4 acres for $120,000. Just, yeah, there's a lot of that. Our budget's higher than that. I mean, if we weren't truck drivers, I think we'd like to fix up a place, but man, we don't even have enough time to even just catch up on chores and errands and stuff sometimes when we come home now. So we definitely could not use home time to rebuild bathrooms. Like it's just not, it's not realistic. I wish it were.
Jeff P, we don't know. So Jeff P said, when Prime will let people from California lease. That's unfortunately because of the state of California and the whole, I believe it was AB5.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to be able to
It's
lease out of California
it's
again.
held up in the courts because they did the whole like no gig workers, no contractors thing. So that's unfortunately thanks to Governor Nuisance. So
And
yeah,
she's speaking as a California escapee.
there's a reason I left California.
Well, there's a lot of reasons.
Lots of taxation without representation. It's unfair. But
Yeah,
anyways, I digress.
I don't foresee you ever being able to lease from California ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in my lifetime anyway. I don't.
That and pretty soon they're not gonna allow trucks that run on anything outside of unicorn farts and rainbows. So definitely. Let's see.
Stacy moving close to
Yeah.
the terminal. It is very, very convenient. I was talking to a driver about that yesterday who lives in Springfield. My TNT trainer moved to Springfield. Of course, he had to because he lived in California. But he's the same thing. I mean, it's so easy to get home. And even if you have a load with some time on it, like 2 or 3 days, you can leave the trailer, the load at the yard, come home, do laundry, things like that, and go back out. So it's so convenient. It's super easy to get a load here to Springfield and relatively easy to get a load out of Springfield.
So Stacy says, sounds like the same color I have to wear, glow in the dark. So Chris, so why Dillard's, not Sephora? The Sephora here doesn't carry MAC, and neither does Ulta. So I use MAC. My skin is very sensitive, so.
I don't know what any of that means.
Makeup.
Oh, okay.
Good night, Junior. Thank you for dropping in.
Stacy. Sounds like the same color I have
That's
to wear.
what I
Oh,
just-
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But Chris Warner says, I think I'm being hypnotized by Yoda.
Glow
Well,
in the
he
dark.
has a friendlier light on, because who was mad about the red?
I think it was Leah maybe have said that. Well, we had like 4 or 5 people who said
he was
that he
dark
needed
side.
to be lit up.
But you had
And then I
red
had
at
the
one
wrong
point.
color. So I actually got, I don't know if you guys can see these lights. This one's blue right now.
But he lit him up with green,
But
so
I can
that,
change the color of these lights.
so he didn't look like evil baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Kenworth Rider, good on you, Eric. I never get tired of Mexican food when your better half is a great Mexican cook.
Yeah, Jen is a pretty good Mexican cook, but every once in a while we just like to, like the chips and salsa is conversational for us, So it's, I don't know, I'm probably sounding stupid, but it's good for us to get out of the house, and it was a toss up between that and steak tonight, but just the chips and salsa phase of a Mexican restaurant extends the experience and gets us some time away from Remy. I love her to pieces, but just gets us some time out of the house to do something together.
So
Good night, Junior.
let's see. So they're discussing that there. Okay, so spill the beans about your film career, RN says.
I will. I definitely will. I've been talking about doing that video for a few weeks. So that video is coming in the next. I'll do that video. I'll do that video tomorrow. How's that? So, I mean, just as a summary, Jenna and I was the executive producer, and she was basically the project manager for
Are you talking about my OnlyFans?
for an OnlyFans channel, for a documentary that's been seen on YouTube almost 1 million times. It was a feature length shot in 4K RAW, about a $200,000 production. And that's what I did before Prime.
Rich says, on the phone with JDQ, he says he'd be on, but he's rolling big rig. We'll tell him we said hello. He's always a hoot.
RN, notice how Eric is a Texas resident buying a house in Missouri. Yeah, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, going to have to switch and pay stupid income taxes to Missouri. The only reason I haven't switched yet is because we aren't actually in Missouri long enough to have to be residents. Where Texas recognizes you as a nomadic, if you live in an RV full time, so you don't actually have a physical like place that you're at 6 months or 3 months or whatever every year, Texas lets you be a resident. We're not in this place for long enough in a year for me to really have to be a resident. But yeah, if we buy a house, then we're gonna have to switch.
And with all the, COVID's inconveniences, it's not like it's just been easy to go to the DMV and get things sorted out either.
Yeah, but I am gonna switch to Missouri just one of these days soon.
Will you release that video tomorrow? RN says what video?
Yeah, video about working in film business, production business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So Kenworth Ryder says, I should clarify my wife is Mexican, so I get authentic traditional food. Yeah, mine's like hipster white people Mexican.
Yeah.
Like not really. Like I made my own flour tortillas the
Missouri
other day.
Mex.
It's not really Mexican. It's like the same caliber of Mexican as Chipotle. So, yeah, not authentic at all.
Jeff P. RN, I live right by the Oregon border. Maybe I'll just transfer my license over and get a place there. Oh, in Texas? Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things you need to do. I mean, like we have a storage unit in Texas. We have a place that we've used that's been my literal physical address and is legally my physical address. Like Texas recognizes it for thousands of RVers. That's where all my mail goes. I use the DMV there. It's in Livingston, Texas. And so I've been resident there for 5 years, something like that. So there's a couple things you need to do, but it's not super hard. If you don't really spend enough time to be a resident anywhere else in the country, there's 3 states that'll do it: Texas, South Dakota, and Florida. All 3 of those will let you have residency there as long as you don't have full-time residency somewhere else.
Let's see. Beach Bum. Did you get Beach Bum's comment?
Pop it up there.
Because that is an amazing announcement.
Looking forward to joining Prime Team on the 26th. Would be there this week, but we got tickets to a showing of The Big Lebowski on Sunday night.
That's important. That's totally worth it. That's great.
So you got 2 major events happening in life.
Let's see.
What's up, 99? I'm just going to say 99 because I'll butcher that. California has the best Mexican food. Only thing I miss about living in California.
It's real quick on butchering names. Rich, if you're still watching, ask JDQ what our fleet manager said to him about his last name, because it's pretty great.
So, yeah, I would agree. California has really good Mexican food, but the best tacos that we've found on the road are in Pennsylvania, of all places. And it's only like 40 minutes from Pittston.
Zapata's traditional Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, it's across the street from a Pilot.
Or Zapata's authentic Mexican restaurant.
Across the street from a Pilot on I-80, right before you get to... what is the name of that town? Damn it. We take meat loads there.
RN, not
Hazleton.
Not Trucker, or not Trevor, because he says, "How can you butcher Trevor?"
Yeah, not Trevor.
The name above Trevor.
I said 99. Urzael?
Yeah.
Seen you many times. I'm just gonna go with 99 because I But anyway, this place it's a shithole pilot. Oh my God, it's such a shithole. Like, you cannot sit in front of the pumps after you're done fueling for more than 2 minutes because it's just absolute chaos. There's never anywhere to park. And if you do park, don't leave your front seats because someone will tear the front half of your truck off.
Or box you in to go to the taco place. Kenworth Ryder. So we did address that. So Kenworth Ryder says, when are you doing the video with Rob Lowe?
First week of August.
First week of August, because Rob Lowe tore up his shoulder and had to have it all surgically removed. Or for surgically removed, for surgically repaired.
What? Reconstructed. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that look like? No shoulder.
I already dropped my F-bomb earlier.
New truck. What's the update, Michael Finney? Yeah, we talked about that earlier too. Still waiting. We don't know. We're told first week of August, so we're going to go back out on the road this weekend sometime and run for 2 weeks, and then
No Luck Trucking was offering to steal the computer chips for us out of another Peterbilt, but I don't think he's been successful yet.
He did finally see one in the wild. I'll show you guys.
Yeah, because it's just waiting on the chips.
He finally saw one in the wild. I don't know if this is going to show up on here. So there it is. That's a picture that he actually took. Obviously, the white one is the new body style. Then the other one is his truck. But I gotta tell you guys, I'm warming up to it. I think it's really sexy. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about that nose, the hood, but it's looking sexy.
Michael Page.
Okay.
Michael Page says Idaho has some great tacos next to Love's, and then Ben says had that today. That's one of my favorites next to a truck stop. Didn't we? I think that's one we might have gone to as well. For some reason, that one seems familiar.
Trevor, in my opinion, this is so true. In fact, you get airtime. You get airtime for this comment. My opinion is if it's not on wheels and questionable workers, I don't want it. The one in PA is on wheels, but it has skirting, I believe. Mm-hmm. And questionable.
Definitely.
Questionable everything.
Highly questionable. All of it.
It has a Trump sign that says...
it says Mexican food so authentic, Trump wants to put a wall around it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like a big sign on the fence that says that. It's hilarious. Yep. But I totally agree with that. On as far as tacos anyway.
Rich says Ford is just getting their chips. Dude, today, holy crap, the car dealers in Springfield, they are so out of cars. Like, they're literally just, like, parking them long ways. So, like, you know, the front of the truck to the front of a vehicle to the bumper front to bumper to make it
parallel parked in front of the avenues now.
And I keep getting calls from the Jeep dealer in town. Like, they've sent mailers, they've sent me emails, and they keep calling, and they're like, hey, if that Jeep Patriot is still low miles, and if it's an extra car, like, we'll buy it cash because we need to, you know, have vehicles. I'm like, wow.
Implying they're non-shithole pilots. I'm sorry, I misspoke. There are some non-shithole pilots. But this one's a real dump. I mean, like, take the average shithole pilot, and this one's, like, down. You know, if the average shithole pilot's a 5, which would be a Love's 2, this one on I-80 and PA is like it's a pilot 2. It's bad.
It is one of the worst pilots.
Yeah, it's bad.
That it's like... You feel like you're going to catch something communicable at that pilot.
Sell them your Jeep. Yeah, the Jeep is worth, no joke, about $5,000 more right now than it was 4 months ago, last year. $5,000 more than it was 4 to 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. Like, that's actually what we're being told is our...
like of the cash offer and the mailers, and they're estimating the mileage 30,000 miles higher than the mileage is. So, like, realistically, I probably could go and sell them the Jeep for the same exact amount that I paid for it in 2016.
Trevor, yeah, we haven't tried that place. We've wanted to.
Are you sure we haven't tried
We
that
have
place?
not tried it. That's the one. You're talking about the one where there's a washout right there. It's in that dirt lot.
I don't know. Eric's made me walk to quite a few Mexican joints in my career. What's funny is he won't let me walk around because fear of my safety most times. But he will let
If
me.
there's tacos, I
He
throw
will
that
let me
caution
risk
to the
my
wind.
life for tacos. Like
There are some bad ones in Laredo too, though. Like Love's in Laredo.
Oh yeah, that was like
Terrible.
food service tacos. I was so sad. I like stood out there. It was like 115, and I'm like dying in the heat.
It was like
waiting
they
for
had
these
backed a
tacos,
Cisco
and it
truck
was
up
awful.
to this little taco truck,
Awful.
and it was like the worst Mexican food we've ever had at the Loves in Laredo. So, but we've passed that one over by the Laredo Yard, and many drivers have told us to go there. Tom told us to, didn't Tom tell us?
Oh
to
yeah,
go
he
there?
said that place is great, and that it has a great breakfast.
Yeah, we know a 3 million miler who was like, yeah, go over there, but we had just eaten. So one of these days we'll get to that Laredo taco shop.
RN says sell the Jeep and buy a hoopty for $3,000 and then pay down that Pete. That's not a bad idea, but I don't know.
No, because we actually do want a new vehicle eventually. We're just not going to pay the effing $50,000 they want for anything on the lot right now. It's ridiculous.
Hi Scott. Scott says hello from Wisconsin.
It's like you could go there and say you want a Ford effing Ranger, which I don't. But if you went there and said you want a Ford effing Ranger, they're going to say, well, you're getting pink and you're paying $60K for it, and it's got no extras.
He wants a Ford effing Raptor.
I would take a Raptor. Probably going to take some shit from a lot of you, but I don't care. I'm at the age of my life where I want what I want. I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Is that a midlife crisis?
Maybe.
So, like, a lot of guys, midlife crisis, they want, like, a sports car. He wants, like, an off-road truck.
Yeah.
But a disco truck, because he would never actually off-road it. It's for show only.
No, Ben, we're not buying a new Jeep.
Yeah, okay, so this Jeep's been good. It's been good to us. I would not buy another Jeep, though.
Yeah.
No.
Mobile top. There's two ladies in a black SUV that go around to the truck yards down there and sell burritos that are great. Yeah, we've had people, like when we had an office one time. It was in Wisconsin.
The tamale people?
Yeah, there was a lady who would walk in with a pan of tamales that she had just made, and oh my god, it was so good.
There was a lady who did lumpa too, the Filipino egg rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till it's over for us.
We're over it.
COVID's been over for us since it began. But anyway.
Voodoo Man says a good taco trumps Jenna's safety. Shame on you, Eric. But it does. Like, yeah.
No, I just say when it comes to tacos, safety second. You know,
Yeah.
tacos first. We're about to take off, Frosted Flake.
But according to the people, according to the people who stopped me when I was walking back from the Denny's in West Memphis, somebody like me walking around in a questionable area, I look like the more threatening person, is what they said, because why would I be walking around in a questionable area? It makes you look crazy, is what I was told.
I don't buy it. All right, if we expect smart purchase decisions, you would have bought a Freightliner first. Well, it depends on how you look at it. See, I tend to find sleep a smart decision. And I can't sleep in a Freightliner when it's moving.
With him having a lack of sleep, that means one or both will murder the other or each other. So it is a smart decision.
Yeah. I do think if I was solo, a Freightliner would be the right truck to buy. I cannot sleep in a Freightliner when it's moving. It was really bad, you guys. It got to the point, I'm not making this up, Jen will back me up, where I wanted to quit OTR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was over it.
For about 3 weeks, there at the end with our Freightliner, like I was literally looking for other trucking jobs.
It's true.
It has nothing to do with Prime. I just wanted to quit OTR. I didn't sleep for like 5 days straight. I mean, you know, a couple hours here and there. It wasn't like dangerous, but it just got to the point where it's like, all right, we got to stop for 34. 3 days later, we got to stop for 34. I could not sleep in the Freightliner when it was moving. I just couldn't. I could in TNT because I was so tired every day, but then I trained myself to be a truck driver and, you know, be able to do long shifts and have my sleep schedule all twisted. And then I couldn't sleep in the Freightliner. So can't do it. Will we buy a semi from Snyder? Hell no.
Did you see the one? Would you guys ever consider doing a video of the less fun stuff, like what you guys have to do for laundry, groceries, paperwork, you know, downtime?
Well, we don't do laundry on the road.
Mm-mm.
We have not done laundry on the road, maybe
we got
ever.
This house.
Oh yeah, okay. So we did it like twice, maybe.
Yeah,
basically
and
during
it
her
sucked.
TNT.
It sucked. I don't like washing my clothes in washers that other people wash their clothes in, so we just bring enough clothes that we can stay out for a month and then wash it all when we get home.
Crisp. My goal right now is to have change your oil when you're supposed to money.
Ooh, Rich says I did beef cheek
That's
tacos on my channel. I'm gonna have to look that up. And okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, this one right here, Rich's River Smokers, West Virginia, it's food porn. So if you like food porn like I do, go watch Rich's videos, like, subscribe. It's lots of bad words and food porn. It's a great channel.
RN, are you suggesting that a Volvo is even worse than anyway? I don't know if Ross is with us tonight, but
I don't know. Like, if you say anything about Volvo like 3 times, like, he'll pop up. It's like, you know, saying Bloody Mary in front
Memphis
of the mirror.
does look like GTA early in the morning.
Dude, yes.
Like, it's okay. So last time we were in West Memphis, Jenna was gonna go get me a breakfast burrito from Taco Bell or something like that, and the whole effing place was burned to, like, it had burned from the inside out.
Cause I walked up and I'm like, this is pre getting my glasses, so I'm like squinting. I'm like, is that plywood for a wall? And like, somebody pulls up to the drive-thru and they're sitting at the speaker, and I'm like just sitting there watching, like, what the hell's going on? And I walk up to the windows and all like the electrical's hanging down from the ceiling, and I'm like, walk back over, and I realize, yes, it is plywood. Like, they had a kitchen fire or something and just like literally just put plywood up and just walked away from the
So you take an area that's
KFC
already
Taco Bell.
rough, you already know it's rough, it's surrounded by rough people, and then the Taco Bell is burned out, and it's just like, oh my God, this place is a disaster. Jonathan, why not? If you're talking about Ryder, we know a couple drivers that will say zero good about. I know a driver who told me that he had to take trucks back like 5 times, and they kept putting him in a loaner, and the loaner had to go to the shop while he just kept going. Like, the trucks were just junk.
Chris, don't you lie. I saw what you just put on Discord. We were not talking crap on Volvo. We just said if you talk enough crap on Volvo, Johnson's logic will appear.
Yeah, we don't talk crap about Volvos. We just make fun of them while we're out on the road, privately in our own truck.
And publicly on our YouTube.
Publicly on our YouTube.
Yes.
Generally speaking, and please take no offense, and this is not you, Ross. I know you take care of your truck. I don't trust Volvo drivers. Generally speaking. That doesn't mean 100% of Volvo drivers.
I'm not. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Okay, let me clarify. any Volvo driver whose name of his company or her company is basically taped to the side of the truck or put on their sideways lettering that they got from Hobby Lobby, or if either of the fins, the fairings are bent.
If it has multiple colored parts, like a bumper that's yellow, but the cab is red. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of criteria of trucks we don't trust.
Yeah. And Jonathan, because you're thinking about buying one from them, here's the thing. Maybe you get it. I'm not saying all those experiences would, because I can't speak to it. I've never bought a truck from Ryder. Our philosophy is that we want every mile of our trucks to be our miles, miles that we're responsible for. So with Brad driving our first Freightliner, that's miles we're responsible for. People can treat trucks bad and hide that fact. So I don't trust it. I look at riding with Kev when he left with a Freightliner that looked to be in pretty good condition from Prime and had to be towed like 200 miles down the road. I don't trust what someone else has done to a truck. I want it to be miles that we are responsible for.
Chris, that is definitely an obtainable goal at Prime. Chris says, my goal right now is to have change your oil when you're supposed to money.
Yeah, Volvos do have a reputation for smooth ride, no doubt.
Yeah. Kenworth Ryder says, you don't want the new Ranger. Coworker has one of them, and it's been in the shop 3 times for blown turbo and twice for other issues. He has a lawyer involved now to get it replaced or reimbursed. Yeah, we don't want the Ford Ranger.
We're not going to get one. If I was to get a Ford truck, it would be a Raptor.
Only a Raptor. We honestly will probably end up, if we get a truck with a Dodge Ram. I won't do Chevy. Chevy burned me really bad. I had a really bad Chevy, so.
And it's not because I think the Raptor's cool or anything. I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. It's because it's a truck that I like. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to happen. I mean, if Jenna doesn't have to drive in a couple years, and if I don't have to drive in 4 or 5 years or as much, I would like to in 5 years become a PSD trainer, then we're going to get multiple puppies. So we want puppies.
So Frosted Flake,
so we need more space.
Is stabbing a hole in my heart right now. They said they've been having problems with the new Pete's. We've had a few trucks with the gauge cluster freezing up and some other problems. Maybe yours won't have these problems. I hope not, because we had more than our fair share of issues with this one. But this one was a COVID truck.
And but here's the thing. I'm working on a video. I actually did this breakdown. Wanted to do this video a couple days ago. I did the breakdown, and believe it or not, our Freightliner broke down as much as our Peterbilt and went to this shop the same number of times as our Peterbilt. The only reason it felt different is that it stayed at the Peterbilt shop longer. So it went to the shop the same amount of times for the same number of reasons, not the same reasons, but it's just that Peterbilt, we could take our Freightliner to TA for certain things. And get warranty work. We could take our Freightliner to Prime or to Freightliner. With Peterbilt, it has to go to Peterbilt. So I'm not afraid of. I would be afraid of problems no matter what. You get a new truck for the first 60,000 miles, you're probably going to have to go through some issues to break it in.
Michael D says, "Is the Pete as quiet as the T680?" Kenworth Ryder. Is the Pete as quiet as the T680? We wouldn't know because we haven't driven a Kenworth, but I'm going to defer to Kenworth Ryder.
Puppies.
Why wouldn't you buy a truck from Schneider or Swift? Because we're at Prime.
Yeah, I don't want to buy a truck from Swift. No way.
But there are people who do, and they're happy with it, and that's great for them. And we're totally supportive, whatever company makes you happy. But we're happy at Prime.
Yeah, we're very happy with Prime. Very happy with their lease purchase model. I did a video like 4 or 5 videos ago, where I broke down the cost you're paying with Success Leasing when you buy a truck. It's very competitive. In fact, right now, you're going to get a better deal going through Prime than you would get going to a dealership for a brand new truck. And that's the again, going back to what I said earlier, we want new trucks because we have a plan for those trucks that requires them to be a certain age and mileage at the 3-year point when they're paid off, so that we can do something with them for a year and then do something else with them after that year.
Trevor says best sleep was in the back of a Humvee when I was in the Army. It rides way worse than a Freightliner. Yeah, but you're tired.
Yeah,
you're in the Army.
We've got a friend who chased
Pablo
Escobar. He was an officer in the Army, and that was a good friend.
They were helping do like logistics or something.
Yeah, he was involved in the hunt for Pablo Escobar, and he talked about that. He said some of the best sleep he ever got was on a metal in the back of a Jeep.
Or sleeping in the jungles in like Panama and weird, like just
where there's
weird,
like killer bees and shit.
Where everything wants you to die. Snakes.
Because he would go for like 2 or 3
spiders.
days without sleep and be damn near delirious, and so then like he could sleep sitting up against a tree better than he could at home. But are you comparing a Freightliner to a war zone, or what are we?
RN says Johnson's logic won't appear. He's busy playing video games or getting calls from Travis. No, he's busy playing video games or not returning calls to Travis.
Jack, hi, Eric and Jenna, my hat's off to you. Report to Salt Lake City, Utah for orientation on Monday. Any words of wisdom? Yeah.
You've missed that. I'm trying to get us.
I know, but I'm trying to get us ended because we're over an hour.
Yeah, but I'm trying to catch us up.
So, words of wisdom. Embrace that shit. Just embrace that shit. Lots of it's going to suck and lots of it's going to be really cool. But embrace all of it. And it'll rock your world afterwards.
Jay says, does Prime give tours of Springfield Terminal to prospective drivers? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris, Rail, and Swift are playing tag on the highway. Ran us into the shoulder earlier today. Not fun with the kids in the car. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. That's not good.
Yeah,
that's not professional driving. Hi, Scott.
I address Ben,
Kentucky.
address Jack, Mike, hey Jack, orientation.
Human puppies.
So you guys are going together. Large Paul, great video you made on lease purchase. Thank you. Glad that helped to make your decision. Scott, I have a T680 sound level, 85 dB. Nice. All right, guys, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. So we're gonna shut the hour is kind of my max, and I have some other work to do tonight. Jenna's got up early and she's been running all day, so she's probably gonna go watch some X-Files. Do 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 do.
I want to believe.
All right, guys. Really appreciate it. Hey, guys, if you're still with us, if you're on a replay gang, we made some modifications to our Discord today. Our Discord is like 420 drivers now. Former, current, and future drivers. It is a messaging app. It's free to download. You got to get on there. It's a complete shit show sometimes, which is
great.
Very enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So join it. The link is at the bottom in the description of all my videos. I'll have it at the bottom of this video by the time it actually finishes processing. Outside of that, guys, really appreciate you. Thanks so much for being a part of this journey with us. Be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.